On today's episode of Time About the Movies, the G.I. Joe gang is back, and this time they're bringing in action heavyweights Dwayne Johnson and Bruce Willis into the mix with G.I. Joe Retaliation. We also have the latest Tyler Perry film, Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor. We have the latest film from Stephenie Meyers, who created Twilight, The Host, one of her books, the latest book being turned into a movie, which will not have the same success as the Twilight movies, unfortunately. And Derek Serafiance is in the latest film with Ryan Gosling and also Bradley Cooper, The Place Beyond the Pines. So, 4 films to look at to wrap up March 2013. This is Time About the Movies.
In the immortal words of Jay-Z, whatever deity may guide my life, dear Lord, don't let me die tonight.
Whatever deity guides my life, dear Lord, don't let me die tonight.
Anything I miss, General? Call me Joe.
I honestly forgot that this was originally supposed to come out in the summer of 2012. That was actually a trailer that was during the Super Bowl of 2012 between the Patriots and the Giants. And I forgot they moved it back to March of 2013 so they can convert it into 3D for international markets. But, yeah. That's something I completely forgot about. But welcome to Time About the Movies. Today we are taking a look at the 4 films that wrap up March 2013, March 28th, 9th to be exact. And our first movie is G.I. Joe Retaliation, the sequel to G.I. Joe The Rise of Cobra, which was a fun movie back in the day. And this one is definitely a vast improvement on that movie. And it's largely been forgotten, sadly, because, I mean, it came out, it was a hit overall, but yeah, most people completely forgot about its existence overall, and the G.I. Joe franchise as a whole has kind of faded out of obscurity. The last one we had was Snake Eyes, which wasn't the big performer that they were hoping for. It really wasn't that great of a film overall, but this is still pretty fun. In this one, you have Heavy Machine Gunner Roadblock, played by Dwayne Johnson, and the surviving G.I. Joes pursuing revenge against Cobra, no longer played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, now played by Luke Bracey, of all people, which, yeah, you remember the guy from the Point Break remake in that terrible movie, The Best of Me? That's him in this movie. That's the guy who replaced Joseph Gordon-Levitt as the Cobra Commander. Yeah, that's pretty bad, but they pursue revenge against Cobra for their own comrades' deaths, including his intelligence and infantry super specialist Duke, played by Channing Tatum. In fact, a lot of the people from the original movie are gone from this film. No Rachel Nichols, no Dennis Quaid, no Marlon Wayans. You know, the only ones that still survive from this one, as I mentioned, Channing Tatum, Ray Park, Lee Byung-hun, Jonathan Pryce, and Arnold Vosloo. Those are the only people that are back from this movie. But they bring in the aforementioned Dwayne Johnson, they bring in Adrian Padalecki, Ray Stevenson, and Bruce Willis into the fold here. So, yeah, it's definitely a movie that feels very different from the other film, and it's slightly better, but it also kind of has that feel of a film that they're trying to create another, that feels like a sequel to another action franchise instead of having it be a part of this one here, because really when you look at it, Bruce Willis really does not have anything really to do in this movie except to just show up here to be, to be the general in this, and even then he's not really doing a whole lot in here in general, but yeah, overall, the film itself is good. I don't think it's as strong as The Rise of Cobra. Rise of Cobra was at least fun with some of the stuff they had there. I mean, the mech suit scene in particular really shows a lot of the fun factor in that movie. This is not to be saying that this is a bad movie overall. It's made by good people. Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who also wrote Zombieland, wrote the script for this. This is directed by John M. Chu, which is funny because we're talking about this film, while this week we'll have the latest film from him, Wicked for Good, which is, of course, a sequel, which he was involved with the first one. But, yeah, at least with this film, it gives him... This is also his first major action, his franchise film in general, because before this he had done the first Step Up movie, and he also did... actually, the Step Up sequels, not the first Step Up movie, the Step Up sequels, and then following that, he would go back to doing stuff, before this, he did the Justin Bieber documentary, Never Say Never, and he actually does the sequel that comes out at the end of the year, which does not turn out to be a good movie overall, but... He's a good director overall, and I think this movie really shows a lot of what he can do with an action franchise in general, with a big blockbuster franchise in general, that he would eventually show with stuff like Wicked and all that. And yeah, it's a fun film overall. It's a very entertaining film. It's not quite as good as The Rise of Cobra is, but it's still fun all across the board. You still get a lot of fun action sequences. The casting overall is pretty good. I wish it could have been a whole lot better, but as it is, you take it for what you will. It's a fun film overall. Really enjoyed it. G.I. Joe Retaliation. Nothing too grand, nothing too spectacular, but a good fun film overall. So, with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, which is Tyler Perry's latest film, Temptation: Confessions of a Man.
Who's that?
The largest social media inventor since Zuckerberg?
Okay. Let's start off with that. Kim Kardashian and her acting in this. Here's the thing with Kim Kardashian. She's not the best actress in the world, but you know what? She's still a lot better than Paris Hilton is. But then again, that really isn't saying a whole lot. It's basically me saying, you know, which piece of dog shit is much better for you to clean up? The hardened turd or the liquidy stuff? You know, there's really no real winner in this, but if I had to choose, I would go with the hardened turd, because at least I can grab that with a paper towel, with a toilet paper, and throw it into the toilet. With the liquidy stuff, it's just like you really need to like wipe it up with a paper towel, with the toilet paper, and then wrap it up the thing, and it's just kind of like, you know, like it's not a pleasant experience. And I know this whole thing isn't going to be me talking about dog poop. Is what kind of dog poop you want to pick up, but hey, I mean, there might be a video out there in the future for that. Who knows? I mean, the internet, YouTube can be crazy out there, but the point I'm trying to get across here is that, yeah, Kim Kardashian isn't the best actress in the world, but I'll give her this. There has been at least a couple of things where I've seen her in where she actually is pretty okay. Mostly the American Horror Story season she was in with Emma Roberts, American Horror Story Delicate, which got me a little bit excited for the show that just premiered this past month with All's Fair, which is not a good show in general. And it's not really just because of her. The whole show is written pretty badly. The dialogue is pretty lazy. It's the problem with Ryan Murphy as a whole, as a writer as a whole. Like, you never know what type of thing you're going to get from him that's going to be good or bad. And sometimes he can write some good stuff, but he can write a lot of bad stuff too. And All's Fair really is a bad show. Kind of on the equivalent of a so bad it's good type of show, but yeah, it's one of those shows that's an early contender for the worst of 2025. Not even an early contender. Oh, contender possibly for the worst TV show of 2025. But yeah, my point is, you can definitely get a sense of the dialogue and how bad it's written here when the line of the largest social media investor since Zuckerberg comes out. It's just kind of like, can you say that line without any more? It's like, can you say that line without it, with a little bit more emotion to it? I mean, seriously, but she's the least of this film's problems overall. I mean, the trailer alone pretty much tells you everything that is wrong with this movie as a whole. But let's run down the plot of this movie, and it's a plot that is kind of ridiculous when you really look at it. So Roger Jackson strives to support his family, a group that includes not only his Ivy League-educated wife, played by Journey Smollett-Bell, but her ganja-smoking father Stanley and her Bible-thumping mother, TT. Meanwhile, Judith doles out thoughtful advice to couples every day, yet remains completely powerless when it comes to addressing the issues surrounding her own troubled marriage. When an old college friend drops by her office, Judith faces her biggest personal challenge in life, and it turns out he's the largest social media inventor since Zuckerberg. I mean, I'm sorry, that line will be forever etched in my memory banks as one of the most stupidest things ever. First off, it's a story we've seen done before. Tyler Perry himself has done this with The Family That Prays. It is literally the same premise, where the married businesswoman cheats on her husband and life takes a turn for the worse for her. And it's even worse than this movie, as we'll get along here. But problem number 2 is Kim Kardashian overacting her ass off. I mean, watch her in this movie, and you can tell that she's not even trying to act at all. Not at all in this movie, and it's just, you know, the preview also shows Journey Smollett's husband, who she's been friends with for almost 20 years, is supposed to not care much for her. What's the biggest thing they do to prove that? Have the guy go watch a football game with her standing behind her looking like she's mad. Just like, is this really supposed to be the tipping point for her character to cheat on him because he watches a football game? I mean, really? That's the thing that's going to push you over to the edge? And right off the bat, meeting the largest social media inventor since Zuckerberg, he is immediately smitten with Smollett. Not even 2 seconds into his dialogue. 2 seconds! And you can already tell that he wants to ruin her marriage so much and bang her. There's also a scene where Smollett's character gets hit by a bike, and since the other guy in life doesn't have a name in the trailer, I'm just calling him what they call him in the trailer. The largest social media inventor since Zuckerberg aids her. First off, the way they shoot this is that it makes it look like the most tragic part of the movie. The sepia tone style shooting of it makes it look like it's more tragic than it possibly is. Getting hit by a bicycle is not on the same level as getting hit by a goddamn truck or car. If you get hit by a bike that badly, you obviously weren't paying attention and need to get off your phone right now. In fact, you know what? Here, I'll do it. Get off your phone and watch the road. I don't even know if you're doing that right now, but you get the point. Like, the dialogue in here is just awful. It's just like, the whole movie is just so stupid. And even the part where she gets hit by the bike and the other guy's just like, if I had a woman like you, I would never miss a thing. She's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, this is the lamest pickup line I have ever heard in my life. Like, how schmaltzy do you have to be? It's just like, you see later on in the trailer that an older woman pops up and then tells Smollett's character lazy lines like, that boy's gonna hurt you so bad. It's just like, there were a lot of stupid lines I heard in that trailer, but the wording of that is just one of the dumbest things ever. You could have just said, that boy is going to hurt you. But no. We have to make it much deeper. We have to make it much more intriguing to make it people think that it's going to be anything different than any other thing that you've seen from him. But no, wait till you see the twist in the movie. In fact, I'm going to spoil it for you because this is fucking hilarious. Because it turns out that Julie Bell's character is HIV positive because she gets it from her ex, and the ex being the smartest, the largest social media inventor since Zuckerberg. That's the twist in the movie. This is one of the stupidest fucking movies I've ever seen in my entire life. This is Tyler Perry at a new low. Like, this thing is one of the dumbest movies I have ever seen in my entire life. The whole movie is just nothing but let's create twists and turns for the sake of having a story going forward. Even for Tyler Perry, who is a smart-ass businessman. I mean, the guy makes movies that make $20 million instantly because he knows his audience, and his audience knows what he does. But even this film was a success as well. He knows exactly how to bring his audiences into this. But even this was just like one of the... Even the people that saw this movie looked at it and go like, yeah, we liked it when we came in, but we're here to tell you that this is one of the stupidest things ever. Like, this is a dumb movie. This is absolutely pathetic. It's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. It wastes some good talent in here with Jurnee Smollett, and Vanessa Williams can be a good actress overall. You know, Lance Gross is pretty good. Brandy Norwood is a good actress. Like, these are good people in here, but they're not given anything to do. They're just there to read a script that is badly put together by Tyler Perry, and just do it. And he probably just tells them, look, just do it because because this thing's going to make a shit ton of money and you're going to get paid regardless. But this movie sucks. This is one of the worst movies I've seen this year, and it really, from the first trailer alone, it just took me out of it right away, just for the way that some of the line readings were. This is a terrible movie, an absolute dog shit film, plain and simple. And how about some more dog shit for you? Let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, The Host.
This is awesome. My name is Jared Howe. I haven't spoken to another human being in 2 years.
Melanie, Strider. This might seem like just another love story, but this is the future, and Earth is being invaded by another species. Humans are not like the others. They have inhabited. If her will has survived, she may resist from within.
The Host, rated PG-13.
And no, sadly, this isn't an American remake of the great Bong Joon-ho movie from 2006, because you know what? That'd be so much better than the garbage we have here. No. This is based off of Stephenie Meyer's latest book, because Open Road needs a big hit, and they figure, hey, the person who wrote Twilight has a book series out there. Surely we'll have the same success as Twilight had, and no. No, you do not. And even the director of this, who also wrote The Truman Show and directed Gattaca, can't even save this movie. It tells the story of a young woman named Melanie, played by Saoirse Ronan, who is captured after the human race has been taken over by parasitic aliens called souls. After Melanie is infused with a soul called Wanderer, Melanie and the alien soul vie for control of her body. And it's literally another Twilight storyline here. You got a beautiful teenager and two guys who want to bang her so badly and get caught in this love triangle. And somehow, some way, this is even more pathetic than Twilight is. I mean, Twilight at least you can laugh at some of the stupidity that Bella, Edward and Jacob do to get Bella's attention. These people are just lifeless, man. This is nothing but a botched down version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and not in a good way, shape, or form. Like, even the Invasion, the Nicole Kidman, Daniel Craig movie that came out 6 years prior, was better trying to capture the spirit of Invasion of the Body Snatchers than this. It's like Stephenie Meyer saw Invasion of the Body Snatchers and said, "Oh, that's way too scary. How can I make this without all the scary things in it?" And this is what we have here. Like, this is fucking terrible, man. This is a stale, lazy film that makes the Twilight movies look butch by comparison. And yeah, not even Andrew Niccol can save this movie. And this guy's made a lot of great stuff over the years, but even he couldn't save this train wreck of a film. This abomination is a goddamn disgrace, man. I don't think I have too much more to say about this one here. The host is pretty bad, so how about we go ahead and get back to some real good movies with our last one that we have here, The Place Beyond the Pines.
One man driven to crime.
Put your hands in the air!
The other fighting corruption.
Is that what you should do? Right out of the cops?
And the one place where it all collides.
I can't think of another line of work that I'd rather be in.
I want to do 2 in one day.
Critics are raving. Bradley Cooper has never been better. And Ryan Gosling is electric.
If you ride like lightning, you're gonna crash like thunder.
The Place Beyond the Pines. Rated R. Now playing in select theaters.
So in this one, you have 3 different stories going on here. You have Luke, played by Ryan Gosling, who's a motorcycle stunt rider who supports his family through a life of crime. Avery, played by Bradley Cooper, who's an ambitious policeman who confronts his corrupt police department. And 2 troubled teenagers, played by Emery Cohen and Dane DeHaan, who explore the aftermath of Luke of Avery's actions 15 years later. So it's basically an anthology film overall, and a pretty good one overall, mostly with the performances overall really carrying the film. It is an intensely put-together film, well done by Derek Sarafiance, who before this had done Blue Valentine, and of course has recently done Roof Man, which I've heard a lot of good things about. I haven't seen it yet, but it's Ron Gosling and Bradley Cooper doing what they do best, showing a lot of what they can do as actors as a whole, really showing that they are going to be the future of Hollywood, of great Hollywood performances overall in the next decade. And it just works very well. You got a good writer involved, you got a good director, good stories overall to tell. A very entertaining movie, very good, very well done, nicely put together. Really, not much more to say that hasn't already been said about this one already. This is a really good film. Highly recommend checking this one out, The Place Beyond the Pines. And thus, with all that said, we wrap up another episode of Time About the Movies. We'll take a look at the first 4 films of April 2013. Three new films. One of them was a remake. Then we have a 3D re-release. The remake of Evil Dead from Fede Alvarez of Don't Breathe, and most recently of Alien Romulus, featuring Jane Levy in probably her best film performance overall. We'll touch on that. We'll also take a look at the 3D re-release of Jurassic Park, coming out for its 20th anniversary, and mostly to see if there is a demand there for a new Jurassic Park movie, which eventually would become Jurassic World. We also take a look at Robert Redford leading an ensemble cast in The Company You Keep, and we also have Rosario Dawson and Michael Fassbender starring in Trance. So, 4 films to take a look at next time around. We'll delve into them all in the next episode, so stay tuned for that. With all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and do me the honors of hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button. Also, don't forget to check out our playlist, and don't forget to check out the previous episode we did. With all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.